I'm Jen. Welcome to my channel. This reading we're going to do, I just found this new deck. It's not new, it's just in my cupboard here. It's Essential Oil Oracle cards. And guidance as you find clarity in emotional healing. And what I like about it, I just pulled these out for the last reading. And it's interesting because it's got is it's got a trigger statement, and then it's got a true statement. And then it's got some advice. And I think they're really cool just the way they're set up. And I do love the colors, not gonna lie. And essential oils are a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get back into them a little bit more because I love the smells. And it's just like a natural, I don't like perfume and shit like that, so I would rather make my own scents through essential oils. And bergamot is one of my favorites. So if you're ever looking for one and you don't know which one to buy, bergamot is very uplifting, and it's very fresh. It's like a citrusy smell, and I really love it. It's a happy smell. Okay, so let's find out, what are you needing to release? What's some emotional baggage you've got that is ready to put down? What's some emotional baggage you're ready to put down? Oh, I love the is it gilded edges? I'm fancy. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Okay. What do we have here? We have anchor and good fortune. And so the anchor is I am not ready for what comes next. That's the trigger statement. And then there's steadying energy. I gotta find out how to use these. I didn't think there was that much more to them, but there's something, I don't know what these middle words are. If you just give me a minute, I'm going to find out. Does it tell me how these cards can help you? The meanings within the cards. Let's go there. Meanings within the cards. I want you to explain how to use the cards. Okay, here we go. This is what I wanted. I like pictures. I just do. Okay, so 2 is related. Oh, that's the related chakra. That circle here in the middle is a related chakra. How am I supposed to know what that is? So 1. Oh, no, just kidding. I lied. Okay, so that's actually 1. Oh, I see. I'll be all right. This is the oil note symbol. And then 2 is the chakras on the side here. Can you see like they're kind of like lightly in a lighter color here? Both, like 1 on each side. Those are the chakras. And then number 3 is the oil name. So steadying. So like that's where I'm getting confused because I saw the wild orange and I've seen that before, but steadying. So that must be like a mixture, like a, you know, when you have like a calming one, you have a steadying one. And then the message at the bottom. Number 5, that's the anchor word, but the word is anchor. Look, no, it does. I'm not even joking. It says number 5 is the anchor word, and it's pointing to these words up here. This one's anchor, and this one's good fortune. Anyways, and then 6 is the trigger statement to release, and 7 is the true statement to embrace. Okay, gotcha. We're all up to date. So you got 2 coming out here. Good fortune and anchor. So actually, I love that combination because it's wild orange and steadying. So like this is like, maintaining. So the good fortune card, actually I'm going to start with that one first. Good fortune, it says the trigger statement is there is not enough. And it's for wild orange. I'm not going to go into all the chakras and stuff like that because unless you really care, you can let me know. But I'm not really too focused on that. Because it doesn't have all. I'm not that good at recognizing each chakra like that. Maybe that's something I got to work on. Because I can't, the only thing I could go is by the colors. Oh, here we go. Hello. Read the instructions. I am not, oh my God, I do not read instructions. I do directions, but I don't read instructions. Here we go. Okay, so we'll be all right. We'll be okay. Okay, so this is a sacral. Is this steadying? So it's just the color of the card. I already knew that. Okay, I could have figured that out. Let me see if all these are like that. Yeah, okay, the color of the card is the chakra. Easy. Now I'm good. So It's not even 4 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, so the true statement is I attract abundance. And so like the message here is feel the joy you would have once you have reached your goals here and now. You will achieve your dreams fastest that way. So like that's not going to just happen right out of the gate. For me, it was a process. And it's like moving from lack mindset to abundance mindset, and moving from survival mode to thriving mode. And so like right now I'm just like in limbo, and so like I'm just doing what I would do if I was doing this as I would for a job, and I have time to do it like that right now. And the idea is that it picks up and turns into my work. Now, if that doesn't happen and I still need some more time in the 9 to 5, then I'm ready for that. But at the moment, like I'm setting my day up where I get up, I've got a schedule with the dogs and how I feed them. And even like when I go to eat at the community kitchen, like that's added into my daily schedule, and then I just do my card readings based around that. So that's kind of what I'm doing. And like I look at other people that are making money from this, and I see how many videos they put out, and I put like a couple extra out if I can, and that's all I'm doing. And it goes along with like Alex Hormozi. He's like a billionaire, but he talks about like do what your peers are doing, and then elevate and do more. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing extra, and in order to ensure that I'm going to be successful. So the next one is anchor. So I'm not ready for what comes next. Okay, so like okay, so I missed a part there. So what's going to happen is if you go to start your dream job, and let's just say you start doing, maybe you're still at the 9 to 5 and you're like, I can't quit my 9 to 5 yet. So like what you're going to do, what I would do anyways, is like on your days off, like that's either where you're making moves so that when you do go into full tilt, then you'll have like your environment will be set up for it. It's going to be clean, organized, decluttered, set up for business, and ready to go. But also, excuse me, as you're practicing this and you're actually doing it like as a side hustle, you're gonna find out like what breaks your consistency. So like that's where I found out I had to change my diet. I had to remove people from my life. I had to get better at my dogs because they're crazy. Like they're still a little bit crazy, but they were crazier. And so I had to realize like I changed their food because I think some of their dog kibble I think was affecting because it was their health, right? So like it's like a diabetic human. They're being diabetic dogs. So like I had to start making my food and their food the same, and like we would just eat the same food. So like then I simplified that. But some people might be like, that sounds more complicated, but it's not, because there's smaller poos and they drink less, so there's less pee and there's less accidents in the house. So now I'm not having to clean up the accidents, chase them around the house waiting for them to drop something. Like it's just, I can't remember I just did have an accident today, but before then I've not had an accident for a few weeks now, I think it is. Like it makes a huge difference. It's not going to be perfect. It's not, they're animals, we can't talk. I don't know when they need to go pee quite yet. We're there, but like I'm not there. So you're just looking at making things better as you go and getting better and better at it, to the point where you've gotten to such a point that when you go and it's your time to go and do it, like you can just kind of move into it. And while things are happening, you're kind of able to deflect them like you wouldn't be before. Before, some of these challenges would either take you down and take you out or put you on the couch in your head, right? But like, because you've had so much experience building up to this, you're able to deal with these challenges easier than you were before. And then honestly, you just get into where you're all of a sudden looking back and be like, oh my God, I'm making 4 videos a day. Like I couldn't even make a video for the last 3 months. Like what's going on? Like you just do. And it's because up to this point, what I was doing is like, there would be times where I couldn't do anything else but train my dogs. And then there wasn't anything else I could do but clean my house, and then the dogs would fall by the wayside. Like these balls that I'm juggling, I just tossed one up at a time to get comfortable with the size and get the weight and figure out how am I going to work this. And then I do it with a different ball, being like a different task. And then what happens is once you get good at like, you find out what works. Like I said, if I tried to do all of this right now and my dogs were still eating the kibble, shitting all over the place, having health issues, it's going to be too many distractions. So I had to look at what was really distracting me, and I had to eliminate it. And that's all I did, is just eliminating all the distractions. And that's why people talk about, boundaries and and it's like, no, like you got to do that to protect yourself, because the people around you don't want what you want for yourself. Let me tell you, they don't want what you want for yourself. It's unfortunate, but if you're coming from like a 9 to 5 kind of, like if you're doing something that they would like to do, but they won't even, either they don't want to acknowledge that they want that for themselves, or like this could even be your status single, your single status or whatever, like just being single and not like staying in a relationship and being single. That could be something that people don't like that you do, and so they want to kibosh that. They want to, maybe I've had people try to connect me with like, what did you think that, who do you think that guy was, like you really want me to date that guy? Like it's weird. I'm like, what, you know? So it's just weird how like there are just acknowledge there's miserable people out there that don't want good things for you. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll be able to put up some of those boundaries and start working for yourself and getting to a better place. So like here is, I'm not ready for what comes next. That's a trigger statement. So steadying. True statement is I take it one step at a time, or one ball at a time. Like, so like eventually, like when you get, like my life was chaotic. My house was a mess. I was cluttered in the basement, cluttered up here. And I just had to, like, I didn't know what went where. And so like I had to get my house in order. I had to work with my dogs so they're not so reactive. I did things like moving the couch away from the window so they can't jump up on the couch and bark at people through the window. Like they'll do it through the door, but it was way worse when I had that couch and they could run back and forth and just actually be up in the window. It was almost encouraging that barking. So now I'm like, no, you don't get to go up there. Like I treat my dogs like kids. Like, no, you're being rude. Would I let my kids yell out the window? Hell no. So get down off the couch. That's my mentality, right? And I would get pissed off, like you're pissing and shitting in my house. Like that's rude. So we got to figure that out. So like not giving them, you know, because they're still dogs and they're still like the mind of a 2-year-old-ish. But at the same time, I'm like, no, we got to stop this. So I would get upset at myself. Like, why am I allowing this? And then that's when I got better at training them, and I learned when to put them in the crate. I learned a schedule, like, you know, after we walk and they've gone to the bathroom, I come back and they're okay to be out for a bit. And then if I feel like it's been too long, I'll put them in the crate when I go for lunch or something, you know. So it's just reworking these problems instead of quitting. I just found solutions. And like, if one thing, there was a time where, you know, I started walking my dogs because I didn't like that they're shitting all at the back door, because I wanted to walk through there. And in the summer, it's really gross and there's dog shit all at your back door, right? I'd rather have it out on the lawn or in the garden or in bags. But the worst thing was like it's all in the patio. So like there was one point where I'm like, you know what? I don't want that anymore. So I'm gonna take the time to put the leashes on and walk them out the front yard, because I have a big front yard and I don't hang out there. So it made sense. Like I love that space. That's my quiet, safe space. And this is like where I don't hang out there as much. I might have breakfast or a coffee when I have coffee, but it made sense to walk them out there and then just go pick up the poo later. And so then I just started walking them when that seemed like a big deal to me, because like letting them out was easy. And I was doing that easy because I was exhausted and I was depressed. And I'm like, I don't want to get up at all for any dogs, but I had to, right? It's my responsibility. So like, it's just, and then when you see, and then there are times I go back to the caging in the back because I'm like, that's just not, you know, I'm like, I'm struggling right now with something else. So like eventually I get to the point where I'm like, okay, this is the answer for my dogs. This is what I'm going to deal with. So that's been refined. You know, what is complicating about me cleaning my house, because I want a clean house. It makes sense. I want that for myself, but it's also organization is important. So what is getting in the way of that? And I found I just had too much shit that I didn't want. And Lack Mind says you got to hold on to that or you're going to sell it. And some stuff you can sell, but some stuff it's like, who's going to pay for it? Someone might not even pay for that. And you're holding on to it like, I might get money for this. And it's like, probably not. Get rid of it. Like your peace of mind, that's taking up realty space and it's like preventing you from making money, right? So like, certain things you can get rid of. And then I would like try to make the best layout for my furniture that felt good to me, because I tried a couple ways and I'm like, I like this because it's new, but I don't love how it feels. And so now I got the positioning of my furniture. And then I realized I had some furniture that was way too big. So I got it back out of there and I put the old chairs that were small back there, and I don't have 4 of them, but I have 1 for me and 1 here and 1 in my office downstairs. So it is what it is. Like, you know, you just got to be okay. Because I'm like, before I'd be like, well, my house, like I only have 1 table at my dining room. That's kind of weird. But like, who's coming into my house? Nobody. I don't care. And when people do come into my house at some point, they're going to understand because they've been through something similar to me. So they're going to get it. They're going to be like, that makes sense. I get you. And another thing is like, yeah, service people maybe, like, I don't really give a shit. Like, if you want to judge me, I kind of got to the point where like, if you want to judge me, go ahead. Because I'm probably never going to see you again if you're going to behave like that, right? So... Okay, so sorry. So take it one step at a time. And once you get all these things, and now you're like, okay, these are refined. I've got these areas of my life. My eating is better. You know, maybe you started removing like dairy, sugar, and refined carbs, and you've replaced them with like potatoes for the carbs, and you know, strawberries instead of the sugar. Like berries are a really good replacement. And even if you add a little bit of dark chocolate, like it's not, you're not meant to just go from 0 to 90. You're just meant to improve things and try to get yourself to a point where you feel good about it, and it's not too restricted, because that's not going to help either. Because like, you got to be honest, like some of these things are still like your coping mechanisms, so you got to have comfort foods that are good for you. That's all. And like, I have chicken tenders from the independent store, the grocery chicken counter. Those are I think those are in seed oil, now that I think about it. But at the same time, it's better than pizza. It's better than a burger that I buy. And if I'm not willing to cook and I don't have the energy because I'm working through stuff, then that's good enough for it is. And it's, you know, it'll be okay for now. It's like, there are times when I decide not to recycle, because I'm just like, you know what? Right now is clean the kitchen mode. And I don't want to even use a little bit of energy to go take it to the recycling at the front. So I'm just like, garbage. And some people are like, oh my God. And it's like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So take it one step at a time, work on these aspects, and then you get to put them all together in a juggling act. Although things are shifting so quickly, be present and know that this is part of a greater plan. And it is. And all it is for me is, the best way I can explain it is, I just kept refining things. And when something felt like I didn't have an answer or a way through, I would just work on a different area. You know, like, so when I feel like I know I can't work on my health so right now, then I walk the dogs more. If my health is not great and I can't work out, then I'm going to be working on what I'm eating if I can, you know. And there's some times where it's like, you know what, normally I would eat a caramel bar right now, and I just had a tablespoon of peanut butter. You know, like, that's all you can do, is you're just looking to do better than you did yesterday. And that's where I think a lot of people get caught up, because they're looking at everybody else and they're like, I got to do what they're doing. It's like, that's not going to work for you. You're just going to, it's a setup for failure. So you got to start small and build momentum. Okay, so what else do you need to know here? What deck? I don't want to use that deck. Let's use this one. What do you need to know? What's going on with you? What more do you need to know here? Shallow, superficial, superficiality, boredom, and blank. Tell me more about that. Despair is on the bottom, falling apart, sinking, hopeless. That was in a previous reading. Tell me more about this shallow feeling that you're having. Chemistry, spark, passion, desire. That's like the opposite. Oh, so are you going between shallow and this is like depth? Rejection, irrational fear, saying no, and dismissal. Irrational fear, saying no. Oh, it sounds like someone's walking away and they haven't even stuck their toe in the water yet. Mirror, reflection, shared feelings, you. I'm going to keep that because we have two. This is a set of mirrors here. And then that's a mirror, but it's a little bit more age. And then letting go in the reverse. I'm not going to take that. Okay, tell me more about, I want to know more about what's going on here. What deck? I'm going to use your emotional. Let's use your emotion. Not your emotion, but my emotional deck, which I said your emotion. Tell me more about you. Oh, hateful. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? A hateful heart. There's hurt there. What are you hurting about? What are you hating? What's going on here? I want this deck. Show me. Show me. Oh, that was a close-up of my eyeball. Sorry about that. That's cute, I'm sure. Hateful. Celestial, speed up. What's this all about? Okay, that's interesting. The way that came out is interesting. Okay. Hateful heart, celestial, speed up. I don't know if this is what... Okay, so what... The sooner... This sounds weird. I gotta get clarity. I want to clarify before. Holding on. Holding on. This is like an old lady looking at her younger self. Like, the longer you hold on to something, it's just going to age you. This is, okay, you know what this is? This makes me feel like when you, in the spiritual community, in the tarot world, I read the comments. I don't know why. People do. We just do. I don't know. I think I'm trying to, like, find out, like, like, is it only me that thinks like this? Like, is there other people out here that are, like, seeing this? You know, that kind of thing. And I'm just, it's like I feel like it's like I'm like when you do a survey, I'm surveying to see what other people are saying and thinking. This is like a celestial speed up. Is like what I believe is like the sooner you can get. I know this sounds horrible. I'm trying to say this in such a way that it's not horrible. The sooner you can get to the hate aspect of a situation, I don't know. I don't think this is gonna sound right. Okay, this shallow end chemistry, this makes me think of like players, like playboys, playboys, people who is just in it for the excitement, but they're not in it for like once that spark is gone, once you start putting up boundaries, like they're out. You know, they're just like, oh, I don't like that. I like playing. I like playing games with people. I like playing with their emotions. I like to see what they do. You know what I mean? Like that's what that is. And so I don't know if this is for that person. Because what I thought about is like the sooner I would make excuses for people over and over and over again until I finally would see like, no, they're doing this on purpose, you know? And then in order to grieve it, I had to recognize like they were doing this intentional. They are not a good person. And I used to give them benefit of a doubt, but like benefit of a doubt is like someone making a mistake. These people were intentionally cruel. And so the sooner you can get to that conclusion with these situations of the abuse that you're experiencing, the sooner you can make a change. Now, I don't know if this is you or this is the people that you're dealing with, because I see two piles right here. And so I'm not sure, like over here, this rejection and this mirroring, like for me, when I would get rejected, I would use that to be like, what's wrong? Like, what did I do? And like, how can I be better? But these people, they get really hateful with it. And that's what I feel like. There's two different sides here. You gotta decide what side you're on. Do you see this hand is like shining down, like the hand of God is like shining down on these people? Like there is a bit of a religious factor to these individuals because they think they're holier than thou. That's what it is. They think like they're entitled. Like there's something about them and their family that makes them more important than you. Like that's such an odd thing. Oh, and it's like in the mirror she's looking like she's really an old lady, but in the mirror for some reason, like, you know, it's interesting. Some of these people have the audacity to like, they act like there's something they're not. And this mirror shows me like they're, you know, this old lady, and like, but she still thinks she looks like she's when she's 20. So like, it's like she still goes after 20-year-olds, but it's like they're like, cougar. Like this isn't even a cougar at this point. This is like a dinosaur, and that's what I mean. Like this is like a. I always wonder like how do they, like they have so much confidence, like they're overly confident. And I think that works until it doesn't, because it gets to a point where you're just like, you know what, people like that confidence, but when that's fine on like a superficial level, like in a sale, like if you're a salesperson, maybe that works. Or if you're just meeting someone like, and you're just meeting them at a party and then you're never going to see them again, that's interesting. But like when these people like they can't prolong this overly confident behavior for too long. Maybe that's why they bring the drama into it, because like if you know if you're watching this and you're on this side where they're mirroring you and there's reflection, and you actually use this to go in and like work on yourself and think maybe this will make me better. They don't think like that. So like you're like, if you keep touching base with these individuals throughout their years, you're gonna know that they have not grown and you have, and that's the odd thing. That's a weird thing. That's a weird, it's odd to see. I've experienced this before, and I'm just like, and honestly, like just as like you'll have an awakening in life and you get new information, this is very similar to one of those odd situations. You're like, whoa, like, you know what, I've done all this in the last like 3 to 5 years, and like, you're still the same. Like, you're still the same. Like, it's weird. Oh, and this is like the celebrities that get all the Botox and stuff so they don't age. It's weird. I don't have anything against like I have my own experiences like with, you know, like if you want to make your body better, cool, but it's to the point of where like when you can't recognize someone's age, like this is an old lady. She looks like this is a what is it? What is one of the, is it Kris Jenner? One of the Kardashians, her mom? like her, I see Facebook. No, I don't. I see, it was on YouTube. Like the plastic surgery that some of these people are getting done. And like I think she's like 80 and she looks like 30. That scares me. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know. Okay, so what's the issue here? What's the problem? What's the problem? Grief. Oh, you're still, oh, okay. Okay. You can't grieve this because you're still seeing them as a loyal dog. And you're feeling betrayed by them, but you're still seeing them as a victim because they played the victim when they first met them. And so the problem is you can't release this grief until you acknowledge who they really are. That's what it is. That's what's happening here. It's like you had so much chemistry and yet they're so shallow. It's conflicting messages, and so you have to pick which one were they. Like, did the person that we had chemistry with, is that them? Or were they the shallow individual who is just, enjoying the view? Like, did they ever have real interest in me? Or were they just like, passing time? You know what I mean? Like, and to me, the best case, like when you don't have closure, for me, I just create it for myself, because like you can just take the information, what you have, and conclude what you can. And so like if this person is hanging with the mean girls, they're a mean girl and guy. Like that's just who they are. Like look who they hang around with to see who they are. It's going to show you. And who they side with. If they don't, I've had experiences in workplaces where people, like it's obvious shit's going down. It's a factory, so there's gossip. These people text each other. So like to think that they don't know what's going on or that something's going on and they don't feel the need to like come over to you and ask you details to be like, hey, what's going on with that? And they just rather take the word of the person who's been there longer. That's blind loyalty, and that is a toxic trait. I would never want someone on my team who is just blindly loyal to me. I want people who think for themselves, who can stand up and speak for themselves. I don't want people that are yes men. That's not who I'm recruiting for my soul tribe. I don't take yes men. I don't take people pleasers, and it's just not something that I would sign up for. So like, that's where you leave them. The side that they're on is where you leave them. If they're not coming to check on you to see how you are, it wasn't that deep, and that's all it is. And like, it's just accepting that, like, it is what it is. Like you're still in transition, so it makes sense that you're not going to be like, because you're still elevating. Like, well, it feels like you're like this, you're actually like elevating going up. So like, imagine like you're still elevating and like, these are just people on an escalator. It'd be like you trying to grab their sleeve and like hold on to them while you're going up. Like that's impossible. You're gonna collide. You're gonna hurt each other. Let them go. You're still elevating. So these people weren't really meant to come with you. They were like an experience, right? And you were just meant to like experience them. It's probably for like a confirmation, to like a redo, like a little bit of a test where it's like, did you learn? It's kind of like when you learn all these units, and then you have like you have a unit, and like you learn all these different things throughout it, and then at the end you have a unit test. So like these are like the part of the unit test, like where you're just meant to like be around them for a bit, and there are examples, so you could be like, oh, that's what that is, okay, that's who that is, that's how that turns out, okay, gotcha, and then move forward. And it's confusing because like you have depth, and you're not that superficial person, but that's what you're needing to be. Invest less in people. You invested too much in people in the past, so you have to learn how to bring that gauge back. Excuse me. And that's what it is. It's learning who to invest in and who not to, who to take seriously and who not to. And like before, you knew what it felt to be isolated, neglected, and alone. So you just want to take all the people and hug everybody. But everybody is not like in need of a hug in the way that like some of those people are going to punch you back. Some of those people are going to pinch you while you hug them. Some of those people are going to pull away from the hug. Like it's not meant, it's just not. It's like oil and water. This is not meant for you. It was an experience, not a lifetime. So what do you need to know moving forward? Let's get a surrender deck. Surrender to passion. So get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So like, here's the thing. What I find is like, if I'm getting bored with a person, it's because we're not having like interesting engagements, right? So like, why is that? So like there'll be people at work where I'm like, I'm getting bored here because like I don't have anyone to joke with. And because the jokes were all about other people and like they're gossip girls, so they're just like making fun of other people, and that's their form of humor. Or they're just like they're always talking about work, and it's kind of like, okay, like you said this joke last Monday at the same time. It's kind of, and you can hear them. They'll tell the joke to your group, and if you listen down the way, they're telling it to the next group. They're like retelling the joke because they got a laugh out of you, so now they're going to take it everywhere throughout the factory, and it's like that's kind of odd and rehearsed. But anyways, so while you might have felt like a pull towards them, that doesn't necessarily mean there was passion there. Like chemistry is very different. I think that's what we're talking about here too, is like shallow chemistry. It's like you feel a pull towards someone, but it's not for the right reasons. It's because you feel really comfortable with them because there's an energy, like, what do you call that? Like a energetic outline? I don't know. Like there's something there, like a template from your past. They remind you of your father. They remind you of your sister. They remind you of your brother. Like something toxic from the past, and that's that addictive pull. So like you just got to learn to, it's to surrender low self-esteem. The reason why, like, it'll get easier. The more you do this, the easier it gets when you can recognize this kind of stuff, because you're like, you got to have your checklist. And I'm still working on this too, because I've experienced it where it's like there was no harm done or anything like that, and you just want what you want when you want it, and you just have to acknowledge like maybe that person was just not for you. And so when there was no actual harm done, to me, I just like allow it to be. I'm not going to run after it. I'm not going to chase after it. I'm not going to think too much on it. I'm going to let it cross my mind when it crosses my mind, and that's when I'll like engage in it. But other than that, I'm going to push it out of my mind. And if it's meant for me to happen in the future, then it will. I'm not fighting for like shallow energy, and because you have depth, that's going to be a challenge for you, because it's like the surrender low self-esteem is you deserve success, love, and abundance. So set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Chasing after people and wanting to be seen by people who aren't making an effort to get to know you, that's a sign of low self-esteem. And that's something I'm working on too, is like thinking like just because someone looks at you or gives you some sort of attention, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's their intention, like that they want to invest in you, or that they even want to be friends with you. I've noticed like there's people that just, you find out that they hate you, but it's like, why were you talking my ear off? Because they like the attention that you give them. That's what it was. They don't like you or anything about you. They just like the fact that you would stand there and listen to them, that you would stand and listen to their problems. That's what they liked. You're a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on. Like there's nothing about you internally they liked. It's just you were showing up in a position that they needed a space to be filled. And that's it. And kind of like sex, right? Like you think like, wow, I thought that was deeper. I thought we were closer, because like to you, sex is really intimate and special and deep. But like to other people that see it as casual, like the casual sex thing, that's a challenge. People that can just do it like that. Like to me, I think that's special. And it's like, wow, like you're showing your naked body to somebody, and somebody's like, oh, that's no big deal. We all got naked bodies. Well, I'm like, okay, like different perspective. So like that's where I would say like look for someone who has the same belief systems as you around sex and what that looks like and how important it is. And if you feel like that's never going to happen, then accept that. Maybe it's never going to happen. You're not meant to settle. Like, do I think there are men out there that aren't as lustful as a lot of them are portrayed? I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. I can't speak on that. I have not mentioned one. I've not seen one. I've not mentioned one. I've not seen one that has not been like obsessed with like porn and young girls and boobs and butts and like where are the successful men at? Like what do you guys got no hobbies? Do you got no like drive? Like I'm just around there and I'm driven. So like it's not like attracting like attracts like. It's just a weird thing. If we're like I don't know. Like it's an odd, I don't know. I don't know where these dudes are at. I don't know what's going on with the world. That's all I can say is I don't know. It's like I'm laughing at it now because I'm like, I really don't know what is going on in the world. And I just didn't, like, maybe you're also wondering, like, it feels weird. Like, why is it so hard to find a partner? And it feels like when you've got just so much to offer and what's going on here, like you've made the most. You've had a number of rejections here, 5 major ones, I'm going to say. And like you made the most out of it and you didn't let it like jade you. You know what I mean? Like, you're still showing up, you're still reflecting, you're still like, now you're just like not taking all the blame. You're like, you know what? I'm not taking the blame for that shit. That guy's a dick. And sometimes that's where the hateful energy, like, they're hateful and they hate you. So like, that's where the confusion is coming, because like, they were showing up kind and loving, but it's like they weren't loving towards you. They just liked what they could get from you. And so that's what's maybe confusing you. And so it's or they like maybe an idea about you, but when they found out like you actually know how to stand up for yourself and you have boundaries, they don't like that part. So they're like, no, I think I'll hang out here with the gossip girls. They're a little bit easier to manipulate, and they'll bring me someone who is a lot easier to get one over on and use and abuse, you know? Like, it's kind of like a fly trap. It's kind of weird. And so yeah, you just gotta keep working on yourself. And that's all I'm doing right now, is like, I just keep working on my confidence, working on my money, working on my home, working on my relationships with my kids, my pets. And like, that's a lot. That's right there. That is a lot. You know, that's a lot. You know, especially when you're doing everything by yourself, that's a lot to handle. So right now, I don't really feel the need to add someone. So maybe just taking a break would be good for you. Surrender your attachments to results. So the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. And just like, look, she's like waiting out there for her ships to come in. But like, what if you could be building a sandcastle or enjoying your time, or, you know, doing something different instead of just waiting? Like, the more you focus and obsess on something, the more it's like watching watching a pot boil. Like, it's not exciting. It's boring. Go do something fun. You have so much more other things to do. You have more interests. Just do something fun. So like, give yourself, if this is work related and you're trying to get your business going, you're like, if it's taking forever, give yourself like amount of time to work on your projects, your work, your side hustle, and then allow yourself anything outside, like we'll say 4 hours a day. Let's just say that. So you're spending 4 hours a day on your creative endeavors. Anything outside of that, you gotta try to take your mind off of it and try to focus on doing other things, because like, that stress is going to eat away at you, and it's not easy. And I'm not like, I'm constantly getting like things I want to make in videos and contents. Like, I'm always getting creative hits, and like, so I'll write it into my phone. I use my phone to write it down, and then I'm good. And then there's sometimes where I'm just like, I just cleaned out all my photos because they're bogging up my storage. And sometimes you just gotta like go through and like realize, like, if it's meant for you to remember, like, it's in you. You know, so like, there are some times where I'm like, oh, I don't want to erase that note or that video because that was a really good, what do you call that, epilogue or something? Like, it was a good video. I had a good message in it, but it wasn't refined and it wasn't like meant for video yet, right? And so it's like, I'll just I'll just erase it, because I know like in my mind I had that idea, and I'll have more, and it'll be okay. So I don't know if that's helpful, but when you're waiting for something to come in, if you're waiting for a person to come back, it's a waste of time. It's I'm not saying they're not coming back, but like, depending on the person, from my experience, no one has ever come back with an apology any different. And I've been separated from people for a few years now, and I just not seen any change with those people that I needed to put boundaries up, because they were just something about them. They just don't want to change. They enjoy their behavior. Something for them is working, and it's not enough. Like, you disconnecting from them isn't a big deal. It's not a big enough deal. So like, if they can't see your value and that doesn't bother them, then they're just not for you. Like, they would do what they need to do to reconnect with you, right? So that's just how I see it, and it allows me to move forward. So what can you do in the meantime to move forward? What's going to help you move forward? Time. Okay, so learning speaking skills. Public speaking is an important skill to have, both in your professional and personal life. So learn to speak with confidence so you can give a presentation, facilitate a meeting, give a toast, or regale your friends. I've never heard that word before. Regale. R-E-G-A-L-E. Your friends with an entertaining story. That's weird. Toastmasters is I just spit. Toastmasters is a great way to build your skills in a safe, affordable, and welcoming environment. Use Google to find your local chapter and attend a season in person. Decide if it's something that you want to do. Now, I've taken a speaker's course, and it was very helpful, and it was very terrifying at the same time, but it was super beneficial, because what I found in that group was like, where you think like people are judging you, you know, because you're used to people judging you. In that environment, you all have one goal, and it's to be a better speaker. And so like, that builds support within all of you. I didn't love it because like I was stress sweating by the end of it, and I'm like, I don't know if people can smell that. I'm super stagnant right now. Stress sweat is a thing, and so that was probably like the most stressful part about it. But like sharing your information, like you gotta create a speech which is very vulnerable, and now you gotta present it in front of strangers. So I was gardening at the time, and that was my passion. So I made it about gardening because it made sense, because I love gardening, and it made that easier. So if you're trying to practice your speaking with other people, try just you can make your own videos, make your own channel, and just start talking about things that you love. And like, even if you're not looking to have a channel and be a content creator, that's a great way to get you out of your comfort zone, to start making videos and creating conversation maybe. And even, you know what, you don't even have to post it if you don't want to. You can put there's different options to keep it private. So it's just the action of doing it and putting yourself out there. But like, putting yourself out there is like extra brownie points. So if you do that, that's going to be even more. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one. Take a solo travel trip. So solo travel trips are empowering and can create some of your most cherished experiences. Visiting a new country is great, but it's also totally fine to take a local weekend trip. So get to know yourself and step out of your comfort zone. It will boost your confidence, self-esteem, self-reliance, and you'll experience the freedom of doing whatever it is you feel like. Another thing about that is it gets you into like pre-planning. So you're going to have to meal prep maybe if you're going for a day trip. You're going to have to plan ahead to know where you're going. So like those are skills that are going to help you if you're building a business down the line also, and becoming more independent. These are things that, it just helps, and it makes it more fun. Like you're going on a road trip instead of like, doing Monday to Friday's meals. And it gives you like it gets you out of your head. And like, if you're obsessing, like it gets you out of that place, and you're just like, you know what, I'm more focused on the road right now. I got dogs in the car, they're tied in, but we're going, I'm excited that they're going to enjoy where we're going. Maybe we'll go pick up some food somewhere. Like, it just gets your mind off obsessing about a situation that is really out of your control. It really does help. And it's like, it's flexing that muscle. Like when you're normally obsessing, now you're more into logical mind, because now you're getting directions, you're focused on driving. That's more, I don't know for a fact, but to me that makes me think of like, it's more of a logical 3D grounded activity, as opposed to up in your head daydreaming about what may never happen. Like it's such a I remember at one point, like I was just constantly up, this guy had me constantly up in my head, because like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But if I would have taken a step back and grounded myself and been like, well, what do you think is going on? He doesn't call you often. He doesn't do this. And I would just make excuses. Well, maybe it's just because he's doing this, or maybe he's just doing that. Stop making excuses for other people. It's going to give you a boatload of hurt if you keep making excuses about why people aren't showing up for you. If they wanted to, they would. When someone needs you, do you show up? You do, right? Like if it's the right person. And if it's not, then it's not. Like, this is why I don't like doing favors for certain people, because I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not going to ask for help, because I'm like, if you ask me to help, I don't want to. Like, I'll help my kids move, but I hate moving. I'm not just going to help some random person move at work. I'm just not. And I'm not going to expect them to. So like, it's like, there's just things like, if you don't want to do them for somebody else, then you do them yourself, and vice versa. So I'm going to end it there, because otherwise I'll just keep rambling. I do. So I hope this was helpful. I will see you in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this. I am going to be bringing up some other aspects to the channel, more like dailies and some things for the week. So if you like and subscribe, you'll be catching that when it comes out. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Take care.